my 2-year-old daughter started saying words that neither I, nor Google, nor anyone else could understand. And then we learned they belonged to an almost extinct dialect from a remote Chinese village, a place where she may have already died once.
Chapter 1. Wrong Words. Marta could barely remember the first words her husband said when he held their newborn daughter for the very first time. She remembered only his face, gray with exhaustion after a 20-hour shift, yet lit by a fragile, disbelieving joy.
She's real. She's really here.
And she was. A tiny, warm bundle wrapped tight in a hospital blanket, with miniature fingernails and a soft, downy fuzz on her head. They named her Lily, a simple, short name that sounded right in America, and, if life ever carried them elsewhere, anywhere else too. Back then, Marta had no idea just how far life would carry them. The first months were the usual hell of new parenthood. Sleepless nights, the sour smell of milk, the constant fear over every breath. Lily cried, snuffled softly, sometimes smiled in her sleep. Doctors said she was healthy. The pediatrician praised her development. Neighbors cooed, "Such a pretty little one." Marta first felt a flicker of unease when Lily was about 10 months old. The baby sat on her lap in the living room, hugging a plush rabbit and babbling her usual mix of infant sounds. The noise comforted Marta, a soft, living background hum. She scrolled through the news on her phone, barely listening. Then, one word cut through everything, too sharp to be ignored. It sounded foreign, jagged, like a strange accent in a familiar melody.
粮食. What did you say, sweetheart?
Lily looked at her with clear gray eyes, her father's eyes, and without blinking, repeated slowly.
粮食.
The rabbit slipped from Marta's hands.
Who taught you that?
Lily laughed, the bubbling, wide-open laugh of all children, and slipped right back into her incoherent ba-ba-ba-ba. Marta tried to explain the moment away as a random combination of sounds. Children sometimes produced noises that resembled real words by accident, she told herself. That evening, she told her husband.
Probably picked it up from a cartoon. You play them for her sometimes. Maybe it was in a song.
Marta nodded, but a tiny pebble of dread settled somewhere deep inside. 2 weeks later, the pebble was heavier. Lily was lying in her crib, lazily tapping at the hanging toys when Marta walked in. The girl didn't turn. She only reached for a wooden bunny and murmured, quietly, almost to herself.
三公书.
The syllables were too clean, too separated, not the way a 1-year-old speaks. A cold current slid down her spine. Something in that strange melody felt familiar. She grabbed her phone and turned on the recorder.
Say it again, Lily.
She asked, trying to make her voice light. Lily looked at her, smiled, and said something completely ordinary, simple.
Mama?
And instead of pure happiness, she had longed for that word, her eyes stained with a strange mix of wonder and fear. That night, after Josh fell asleep, she put on headphones and replayed the recording over and over. In the stream of ah-ga-ta-ta, short fragments emerged, too clear to be accidental. Not clear exactly, purposeful, for someone. She tried translation apps, entered Liang Shi, Sang Kong Shu into every language, nothing. Algorithms kept offering K-pop songs and Japanese brand names. At the routine checkup, the doctor only smiled.
Kids say funny combinations sometimes. It's normal. If she doesn't have clear English words by age 2, Then we'll talk.
It seemed to calm Josh. It didn't help Marta at all.
Chapter 2. Words She Shouldn't Know.
By the time Lily turned 2, she really was talking. A lot and quickly. She pieced together short phrases with ease.
Mommy, juice. Daddy, look, birdie.
But alongside that normal stream, another one continued. While playing with her blocks, she could suddenly freeze, tilt her head slightly, and whisper something like this.
听什么来？加洛文。
The intonation was different. When she spoke English, her voice was high and childlike, with those familiar stretched vowels. But in those other moments, it dropped, became flatter, almost emotionless, as if Lily were repeating a memorized script, or remembering. One day, while assembling a mosaic on the floor, she giggled and recited a long phrase in that language, sing-song, rhythmic.
你们都不知道什么是黑暗。
Marta sat beside her with a half-finished report in her lap and dropped her pen in shock.
What did you just say?
Lily glanced back, a little confused, as if Marta had interrupted something important.
I said the kitty fell down.
She answered in English, pointing at a picture. That evening, Marta didn't stop at translation apps. She found a website where native speakers helped decode strange phrases. Embarrassed by her own anxiety, she uploaded several audio clips, adding, "My daughter sometimes says things like this. Could anyone tell me if this resembles a real language? Maybe I'm overthinking." The answer came a few days later. At first, jokes, guesses about a made-up language, someone suggesting weird English, and then a long message from a user named y.chen. It's very unusual. I'm a linguist. I work with Chinese dialects. Forgive me if this sounds strange, but this is very close to an old dialect from southwest China. Hardly anyone uses it now. Some phrases are archaic. In the last recording, your daughter says something like, "You all do not know what darkness is." Marta reread the message 5 times, feeling her palms go damp. Josh, seeing her face, frowned.
Another forum? What now?
She handed him the phone.
Great. Now the internet thinks our kid speaks ancient Chinese. Convenient. Tomorrow they'll say she's the reincarnation of an emperor.
But what if it really is a language?
Even if it is, it could be random phonetics or someone online showing off. You can't exactly check.
But Marta wanted to check. She would write to this linguist, she decided. A video call. Let him hear Lily himself. Let him tell them how real, or not, this sounded. Josh sighed and lifted his hands in surrender.
Fine. One call. Just no TV shows, no miracle child nonsense. She still has to go to school one day.
Chapter 3. The Linguist. Chen turned out to be a thin man in his early 40s, with straight shoulder-length hair and round glasses. On the Zoom screen, he looked tired but genuinely intrigued.
I'm glad you agreed to talk. Let me say this up front. I'm not a mystic. I've simply spent many years studying dialects of Southwest China. What you sent me surprised me a great deal.
Lily was sitting on the floor with a book. Marta had told her beforehand that the man wants to hear how you talk.
Hi, Lily. May I ask you something?
Lily shot him a brief, serious look. Not typical childlike curiosity, but something sharper.
You're far away.
Yes, I'm far away. I'm in China. Do you know where that is?
Yes.
Do you know some words?
He switched to Chinese, yet not the Mandarin Marta heard on TV. This sounded softer, unfamiliar. And Lily, without the slightest hesitation, answered in the same dialect. Josh, sitting nearby, muttered a curse under his breath. For a while, Chen simply listened. His face slowly changed. The faint smile vanished. His eyes widened. At last he said,
Could I ask you to step out of the room for a moment? I want to ask her a few questions that may be unusual.
I'm not leaving. She's my child.
All right, stay. Just please don't interfere.
He returned to the dialect. Marta didn't understand a word, but the intonation told her enough. He asked, she answered. Lily spoke meaningfully, sometimes thoughtfully, sometimes with a hint of boredom. Not like a child parroting movie lines, like a person remembering. After 10 minutes, Chen switched back to English.
I asked her several questions, the kind I would ask an elderly person from the village I study, about the local river, what the place used to look like, what songs they sang during festivals. She doesn't just know words, she knows context. She uses expressions that hardly exist in modern speech. My grandparents spoke like that.
Marta felt the floor drop beneath her.
Could she learn this from a video?
Josh asked, trying to sound rational, but the tremor in his voice betrayed him.
Possible in theory, yes. In practice, this dialect barely exists online. A couple of folklore recordings, a few articles. She's using forms I've only heard from very old people during fieldwork.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm only stating this. Your child speaks like someone who grew up in China and spoke a specific dialect about 70 or 80 years ago.
He looked at Lily again.
And when I asked if she remembered her home, she said, yes, but it's far away, and everyone there will be dead soon.
Lily was flipping a page, perfectly calm. Marta felt panic rising inside her. Impossible, illogical, but far too detailed.
What should we do? Should we go somewhere? See a psychologist? Who do people even turn to with something like this?
A psychologist, absolutely. Just to rule out everything that can be ruled out. I don't believe this is illness, but still. As for going somewhere, she knows the name of the village. She told it to me.
Marta's mouth went dry.
What name?
Chen pronounced a few short, sharp syllables. Marta tried to repeat them. She failed.
I can send you the spelling in English. It's a small place in the mountains. People still live there who remember the old times. I'm not giving advice, but if this were my child, I would want to know what that place is.
After the call ended, Marta sat staring at the black screen. One phrase echoed in her mind. People who remember the old times. Lily came over and tugged at her sleeve.
Mom, I'm tired of talking to that man. He lives very far. His hands are like an old man's, but his voice isn't yet.
Josh tried to smile.
How do you know what his hands look like?
Well, I don't know. I just know.
Chapter 4. Two Homes. The psychologist they found was a calm woman in her 50s with a soft voice and an office that looked more like a cozy living room than a clinic. She listened to everything. The strange words, the linguist, the name of the village.
Children this age can say astonishing things. They're extremely receptive. It might be a mix of things they've heard and their imagination, or something else. The important thing is not to label her. You need to stay grounded. She picks up your emotional state instantly.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
My personal beliefs don't matter. What matters is how you will live with what's happening. If you want, you can see this as a metaphor, a trauma that doesn't always come from this life alone. But sometimes metaphors turn out far too literal.
She played with Lily for an entire hour. The girl built a house out of wooden blocks and placed tiny toy people inside.
Where are you in this house?
Lily placed a little figure with pigtails on the roof.
Here.
And where's Mommy?
Here, but Mommy is from another house.
Which one?
Lily looked at her for a long moment, serious, weighing something inside herself.
I had two homes. One where the mountains are and it smells like rice. The other here where everything is loud and smells like plastic.
She carefully rearranged the little figures.
Sometimes I forget which one I'm in now.
That same night, Marta woke to a faint whisper. At first, she thought it came from outside, but the whisper was inside the house. She slipped out of bed carefully, not waking Josh, and stepped into the hallway. Lily's bedroom door was slightly ajar. A warm glow from the nightlight spilled into the corridor. The whispering grew clearer. Marta looked inside. Lily was sitting up in bed, facing away from the door, speaking softly. Her new doll lay on the pillow beside her. For a moment, Marta thought Lily was just playing, until she caught the words, the language, the tone, like an adult soothing a child.
嘘嘘，不怕不怕，他会来的，他会长大。
Marta stepped closer, her heart hammering.
Who are you talking to, Lily?
Lily turned her head. Her eyes weren't sleepy, they were startled, as though she hadn't expected to be interrupted.
Her.
Lily nodded toward an empty patch of wall. Marta forced herself to look. Nothing there, only a curtain's shadow.
Who is her?
The girl. She still thinks she's alone. I'm telling her she's not anymore. She doesn't understand English. I have to talk like...
And why is she here?
Marta swallowed a hard knot in her throat. Lily looked at her with mild confusion, as if the question itself was strange.
This is her house. It was.
That night, Marta sat by her daughter's bed for a long time, waiting until Lily finally fell into a real sleep. Inside the room, it felt as if a draft from another time had slipped into their home. Something cold, quiet, and impossibly old.
Chapter 5. The Map. The only thing that kept Marta from sliding fully into madness was work. She escaped into the office, into marketing plans and reports, clinging to numbers as something rational.
Josh took extra hospital shifts to keep his mind occupied too. At home, though, that other world, the second, unclear one, kept growing. Passing by the TV showing news, Lily could suddenly stop and say,
That's not China. I know, it's the weather report. No, people think it's China, but that place is different. They don't have trees like that.
Another time, seeing a picture of a traditional Chinese pagoda in a book, she snorted.
Nobody in our place built like that. That's for tourists.
Every time she said our, it hit Marta like an electric shock. One afternoon, while Josh was on shift, they were coloring in a world map in a children's encyclopedia together. Marta showed Lily where kangaroos lived, where penguins lived, and where they lived themselves.
And where is your other home?
The question slipped out. Lily, without hesitation, poked her finger into the vast green mass of China.
Right here.
She moved her finger slightly, adjusting it with surprising confidence.
No, here, not far from the mountains. There's a river, like a long silver rope, and a bridge that always wobbled.
Marta almost asked, "What's the river called?" but stopped herself. She felt that every clarification pushed them closer to some boundary, one they couldn't cross without admitting that none of this was just a child's game. The next day, while Lily was at kindergarten, Marta pulled out the same map, photographed the page, and sent it to Chen with a short message. She pointed here. "Does this match the area you meant?" The answer came in the evening. Yes, approximately. Same province. The village does have a suspension bridge over the river. Old. Repaired often. Marta sat in the kitchen, gripping her phone as if it were hot. Josh walked in, took off his coat, saw her face.
Again?
She silently handed him the screen. He read the reply, ran his hand through his hair several times.
Okay, listen. Are we gonna live like this forever? In this state of maybe not?
What do you suggest? Just forget it? Stop asking questions?
I suggest either accepting that this is something we don't understand, and then, well, I have no instructions for that. Or we go.
Go where?
There. To that village. To that old bridge. To see it with our own eyes. Either confirm there's nothing there but someone else's life, or
Confirm the opposite? Do you hear what you're saying? We have a child, 5 years old, a flight halfway across the world into the middle of nowhere where we don't even know the language. For what? To look at a bridge?
So that you stop losing your mind, and so do I. Because if we do nothing, this won't go away. She'll carry it inside, along with our constant, we don't know what to do with it.
They argued for a long time. Marta talked about safety, money, no vacation days. Josh talked about the impossibility of living in limbo. In the end, the decision wasn't made by them, but by Lily. A couple of days later, she came up to them in the morning while they were drinking coffee and said, in a completely matter-of-fact voice,
It's time.
time for what?
To go home. The other home. The old man needs to finish something, and I have something there too.
Marta felt goosebumps spread across her skin.
What old man? The one who's left. I don't want him to die, still thinking everything stayed the same.
She said it in a tone devoid of any theatrics, simply as if stating a fact. Chapter 6. The Road. Preparing for the trip consumed everything. The last of their savings, vacation days, nerves. Getting visas turned out to be easier than Marta expected. Explaining to friends and coworkers why they were flying to a tiny village in a Chinese province was much harder. They pretended that it was an exotic getaway, something like to see real rural life.
Send photos later. Just don't catch anything out there.
When the psychologist heard about the trip, she said,
"The most important thing is not to overload her with leading questions. Let her guide you, and be prepared for the possibility that you won't get a clear answer. Sometimes, even in stories like this, there is no tidy resolution we want."
Chen helped them find a translator in the nearest town, his former student, May, who agreed to meet the American family and help with communication.
"I don't believe in ghosts,"
May wrote in her messages,
"but I do believe there are things we don't fully understand about human memory."
Lily was strangely calm throughout the journey. At airport check-in, she didn't fuss or get tired. On the plane, she mostly watched the window or slept, sometimes muttering softly in her language. When the plane descended into Beijing, she suddenly said,
"The air is different.
Marta clutched the armrests.
It smells like old smoke."
Beijing Airport greeted us with its familiar chaos. Then came a transfer, another flight, a train, a bus. The world narrowed, from a megacity to smaller and smaller towns, then to villages where tourist buses never came. May met them at a noisy station. A short woman in jeans, wearing a sharp, slightly skeptical smile.
"You look like you've already gone through half the circles of hell. Welcome to China, where everything is just a little more complicated."
Lily stared at her intently. For a moment, something flickered in May's eyes, as if she herself were being examined.
"You speak too fast."
May burst out laughing from surprise.
"And you speak too old. I've only heard that from my grandmother."
To reach the village, they traveled along a winding mountain road. The bus rattled over potholes. Outside the window, hills stretched out, slowly giving way to mountains. In the distance, a river really shimmered, a thin strip of silver.
"That's it."
Marta didn't want to ask, "Are you sure?" She'd learned in recent months that Lily was rarely unsure. The village wasn't as tiny as they expected. Several dozen houses, narrow lanes, children playing by the gates, women sitting in shade talking quietly. They looked at the American family with curiosity, but not with shock. Strangers, it seems, came here sometimes.
"What's the address?"
Marta was about to admit they had none. But at that moment, Lily grabbed her hand and pulled forward.
"We know the way."
She walked with confidence, never stopping to think. She turned sharply through alleys, so quickly Marta nearly stumbled trying to keep up. They passed a small market, circled a block of identical houses, and entered a narrow passage where gray walls pressed from both sides. Lily never paused.
"It's here."
Chapter 7. The House. The house was older than the others. Its gray plaster was peeling, the wooden door darkened with age. The windows were barred. On the sill sat a pot with a dead plant.
"Someone used to live here. Lived."
She stepped closer and placed her small palm on the door. Marta felt a shiver ripple across her skin, despite the warm air. May said something to a woman sitting nearby. The woman nodded.
"An old man lives here. He hardly ever goes outside. His name is Lao Han. He has almost no one left."
May knocked, a faint rustle sounded from inside. A latch clicked. The door opened. An old man stood on the threshold, thin to the point of fragility, with narrow arms and skin like dried paper, sparse white mustache, dark, attentive eyes. He looked first at May, then at Marta and Josh, and finally at Lily. For a split second, something like fear flickered in his gaze.
"What do you want?"
May began to explain politely, but Lily interrupted her. She stepped forward and spoke in that dialect, soft and clear.
You don't recognize me, but I recognize you.
The old man froze. The words hung in the air like a wire pulled taut.
"Who are you?"
I was here when you were little. You always cried when they made you sleep during the day. You hid under the table. Remember? I brought you rice cookies.
Marta's mind went blank. She understood only the tone. The meaning reached her a moment later through May's whisper. The old man grabbed the doorframe as if his legs suddenly weakened.
Who told her that?"
No one. I remember.
May looked back and forth between them, her usual skepticism gone.
Can we come in?
Without taking his eyes off Lily, the old man stepped back, opening the passageway. Inside, it was cool and dim. A small entry room, then a space with a table, a few chairs, old photographs on the walls. The air smelled of dust, old wood, and something slightly sweet, like aged tea. Lily walked in with confidence, as though returning to a familiar place.
It was different here. The walls were green back then, and there was a bed here, not a table.
She pointed to the corner.
And here was the fire.
The old man inhaled sharply.
"Who are you?"
Lily turned to face him. In her eyes was something Marta had never seen in her child, a mixture of tenderness and an immense, ancient exhaustion.
My name was Lynn, but you called me May, little sister.
The old man closed his eyes. A tear slid down his wrinkled cheek.
May died. She died in the fire. She's gone. This can't be.
Lily stepped closer and lifted both her arms, the way children do when they want to be held.
I'm here, older brother. Just changed a little.
Chapter 8. The Doll. May translated everything in a whisper at first, but eventually she stopped, simply sat there with her hand pressed to her mouth. The old man sank onto a stool, as if his legs couldn't hold him anymore.
When the fire happened, I was at the river, playing with the boys. Back then, there were no phones. No one called. I saw the smoke and ran. The house was already burning. They pulled out everyone they could. They said you stayed inside. I came back at night, found what was left. Well, we buried it. They said that was how it had to be. But I knew you were scared. I knew you were alone. And my whole life, I thought I didn't make it in time, that I didn't save you.
Lily walked to the wall and slid her hand across the rough plaster.
I screamed. It was very hot, and the smoke, it was everywhere. I couldn't see the door, but at some point it stopped being scary. It got quiet. I also thought we'd never see each other again.
Marta felt her heart tightening painfully. She wanted to shout, "Stop! She's a child!" But another part of her knew the truth. These words had lived inside Lily for a long time. Letting them out was better than keeping them sealed inside.
I hid you.
He suddenly stood up with a sharpness unexpected for his age and approached another wall. He tapped on a brick. The sound was dull.
Father wouldn't let you keep that doll. Said it was nonsense, but you cried and I...
His fingers trembled as he began picking at one of the bricks. Marta noticed a slight unevenness, as if the brick had once been removed and placed back imperfectly. Lily approached and stopped him.
No, not there.
She walked around the room, tapping the walls herself. Once, twice, then she pointed confidently to another corner, lower, almost at the floor.
Here. I helped you place it.
The old man froze. Then, with a low groan, he dropped to his knees beside the spot. His fingers dug into the edges of the brick. His nails bent, cracking, but he kept going. May finally snapped out of her shock and helped, prying the seam with a metal knife. The brick came loose with effort. Behind it, another brick. A stale, dry smell drifted from the opening. Lily crouched and reached inside, searching the hidden cavity. For a moment, Marta thought her arm wouldn't fit, but Lily's small hand seemed to know the exact angle. She pulled back, and out of the darkness emerged a bundle of cloth. The old man choked on a breath. Lily carefully unwrapped the old, yellowed fabric. Inside was a doll. Handmade, unmistakably. A faded cloth face, black thread hair, scraps of a red dress clinging to the body. The eyes were stitched with black thread, a little crooked. The smell rising from it was of an old house, smoke, and something sweet, perhaps a forgotten life. Lily held the doll the way one holds a long-lost treasure, pressing it to her chest.
It's mine. You hid it, so Father wouldn't find it. I came back for it.
The old man covered his mouth with a shaking hand. Tears slid down his face, freely, heavily, like a child's.
I thought it burned. I thought nothing of you was left. Nothing. Whoever you are, thank you. Thank you for bringing her back.
Marta stood gripping the back of a chair to keep from collapsing. Josh, usually composed, wiped his face with his hand, hiding his tears. Meanwhile, Lily gently blew dust off the doll as if it might sneeze. Then she turned to the old man.
You're not alone anymore. You're not guilty. I also thought for a long time that it was my fault, that I should have gotten out. But sometimes fire is just too fast.
Chapter 9. What comes next? They stayed in the village for several days. The old man, Lao Han, barely spoke to the Americans at first. He kept watching Lily, at the beginning with suspicion, and later with a painful tenderness. May translated for them, but sometimes they seemed to understand each other even without words. One evening, when Lily had fallen asleep in the next room hugging her doll, Lao Han spoke quietly to Marta.
I know what you think. That someone is tricking you. That this is a game.
He looked down at his hands.
I thought the same. Maybe someone was playing a joke on an old man. But who else remembers that hiding place? I made it when I was a boy. I was 12. I never told anyone. I don't know who she is. A god, a spirit, Reincarnation, it doesn't matter to me anymore. The only thing that matters is this. That little girl didn't go into the dark alone back then. She had the chance to say once more that she was my sister, and that is enough.
And us? What are we supposed to do with all this? How do we live after?
She is your daughter, whatever life she had before this one. You don't think you are only who you were last month, do you? You also have old versions of yourselves, but you didn't stop being you. Don't keep her trapped between two homes. She will decide for herself which one is real.
That night, Marta couldn't fall asleep for a long time. She lay on the narrow guest bed, listening to the sounds of the village, a distant dog barking, the creak of the wind. Lily slept on the other bed, close by, holding the doll. Moonlight lit her face. For a moment, Marta thought her daughter's features looked different, older, stranger, as if for a brief second the face of a girl from another century had replaced Lily's.
Who are you?
Marta whispered. The answer came unexpectedly, a quiet voice from the dark.
I am tired, Mommy.
Tired of being who?
Everyone. Tired of remembering. Tired of being afraid.
You don't have to carry all of that alone. You're a child. You're allowed to forget. It's not a crime.
Silence answered her, only steady breathing. In the morning, Lily behaved a little differently, a bit more childlike. She still spoke to Lao Han in the dialect, but sometimes searched for English words. Sometimes she mixed them up.
It seems she's
letting go.
Chapter 10. The Return. When they were leaving, Lao Han walked with them to the edge of the village. He held a small cloth bundle in his hands.
This is for her.
Inside was a thin rope bracelet, old but strong.
I made it for Mei Mei when I was a child. I wanted to give it to her, but I never had the chance. Let her take it now.
Thank you, elder brother.
He slipped the bracelet onto her wrist, his fingers resting on her skin a second longer than necessary.
Take care of yourself. This time, better.
On the plane back, she asked a question for the first time in days.
Mom, are we going home? We are going home.
To America! Yes! But
She looked out the window. Clouds stretched endlessly beneath them.
I think home can be more than one place. And right now, which one is home for you? You and Dad. Where you are, that's home.
She touched the doll, the one they were allowed to keep, though asked to carry it in their hand luggage.
And this is just a thing to remember that I maybe used to be someone else, but I don't have to be her forever.
Marta felt something inside her loosen, like a tightly pulled band that had finally been released. Chapter 11. After. Life at home did not become normal right away. The past didn't disappear like a light being switched off. Sometimes Lily still muttered strange phrases in her sleep. Sometimes she stopped by the map and traced her finger along the mountains. But gradually, the episodes became rarer. A few months later, Marta suddenly realized she hadn't heard a word of Chinese babble in a long time. Lily spoke English like all children her age, sometimes mixing in a new word she'd picked up at preschool. New names, new imaginary worlds. One evening, scrolling through old recordings on her phone, Marta played one of the earliest clips. Lily sang Liang Shu and Sen Gong Shu. The sounds felt distant now, like the voice of someone else's child.
Is that me?
Yes, you.
Weird. I don't remember anything.
And that's okay.
They still exchanged occasional messages with Chen. He asked permission to use some of the recordings in his research, anonymously.
It's a rare case, but I'll be careful. I don't want to turn your daughter into an exhibit.
Mei also wrote from the village from time to time. She sent photos of Lao Han sitting on his porch. In one of them, the old man held a thin rope bracelet in his palm, one exactly like Lily's. He says he feels lighter now, Mei wrote. Marta didn't know what she believed in. Past lives? Some kind of memory entanglement, the way the brain sometimes latches on to stories that don't belong to us? Or that a child's mind can bridge worlds we insist are separate? She knew only one thing: the fear that had squeezed her throat in those early years, the fear that her daughter would disappear into someone else's life, had changed. It didn't vanish, but it stopped being paralyzing. One night, after Lily had fallen asleep, she and Josh sat in the kitchen drinking tea.
Do you ever think we just imagined all of it?
No, but sometimes I think it felt like a dream, a very vivid one.
She touched her wrist. The faint mark from the bracelet she'd tried on for fun still reminded her of that trip.
You know, if it was reincarnation, fine. If not, it was still something that helped one person finally live through an old wound. And helped us too.
I'm just glad her nightmares are rare now, and that she thinks of us as home. You know what I sometimes wonder? If even a little girl can come back after so many years to fix one small thing, an old doll, someone's guilt. Maybe we're allowed to come back too, to something we thought was lost, to who we were before all the mistakes.
Marta looked at him, saw in his eyes the same tiredness she carried in herself, and suddenly thought, maybe reincarnation isn't only about past lives, but about how many times we're allowed to start over in the same one. Behind the wall, Lily stirred in her sleep, mumbling something. The words were no longer understandable, and that brought a strange kind of peace. On her nightstand sat the old cloth doll. At night, when the street light fell across the room, it seemed that the doll's stitched eyes were not looking at the girl at all, but somewhere further, toward the place where all stories about who we were end, and the simple question begins: who do we choose to be now?